Ira Epstein with your morning flash update. And this update is for the morning of Tuesday, the 23rd of May, 2023, 8:25 a.m. Central Time. Were you listening yesterday, or did you see the conference that Speaker McCarthy had after he left the White House? He was on the steps of the White House as he was answering reporter questions. I know what I heard. I recorded it. He is not going to agree to more spending. He is not going to agree to any cuts in defense spending. He is not going to agree to tax hikes. He would view an extension as a failure. The talks were honest and open. Tell me where he's giving in anything, because that's what I was looking at. In order to make a compromise, he's got to give in on something, and here's what I heard: nothing. That he's going to hold where he's at and so on. Now, obviously, in politics, black isn't black and white isn't white. You know that. If I'm not going to give in taxes, that means I'm giving in, but not as much as you think, possibly. I'm not going to agree to spending increase. What does that mean? I'm not even certain. He's talking rolling it back to pre-pandemic levels. You can see that. That's how he answered the question. So I'm, as usual, confused with the people that keep buying the stock indices and the idea that this is happening. I walked out of that exceptionally dejected, saying they're not anywhere near a deal together. And by the way, that is exactly where I still stand. I don't see that they are close. I agree they're talking. There's time. They want to take, and by the way, McCarthy also said that he will not waive the 3-day rule. So to get to June 1st, we're at the 23rd. If it was a perfect world and he could deliver today, the word is today, something to Congress, by the end of the day, the clock would start clicking on the 24th. You have the 3-day rule to the 27th. You have Memorial Day. You know Congress won't work on Memorial Day. How do you get to June 1st, get a debate on the floors, and get this passed by June 1st? So I think, personally, the June 1st date is out the window. That means there's either enough money to pay, or there's an extension possibility, or miraculously, something in Congress that rarely happens. Everybody just whips this through the Senate, the House, everybody agrees, they get their majorities, that's what it's going to take, and we suddenly get this done. Is that a possibility? Of course it's a possibility. Is it a high probability? I have my doubts about that, but that's me. So what else is going on? Well, you came in today, you're getting more of a bid in the gold. Now, admittedly, it's sold off a little bit, 14 points off the high. If you take, and did I say gold? I meant the dollar index. It is impacting the gold. Gold has rebounded $15 or so off the lows, as you can see, but it really got smashed as you walked in today. And I know what I think, and I was looking at the trade, and I happen to think people aren't listening. By the way, I think you're getting very crowded on the bull side of buying stock indices. And if you caught my reviews yesterday, I had an epiphany moment when I was in Florida, and it was this. If you threw out the stock market indices and the few stocks that are carrying them higher, just forget them. The reaction in gold to what's going on in the debt talks, very real and very right. Dollar, very real and right. Adding to the bonds and notes premium, very real and right. Taking a look at energies, well, if you're watching today, this morning, were you watching on Bloomberg, the interviews taking place in Qatar? They had the OPEC heads there. The sheikh from Saudi Arabia was there. These guys are hawks. They are saying that they want to get a bit more aggressive, if anything, in the market. They don't like what they're seeing. They think the trade is getting too crowded. They see the open interest building on the short side, the commercials and so on energy. They may pull a surprise move on you. Now, when we take a look at the day's data, well, when we come here, you can see retail sales. They were up 1.5%. Excuse me there. Let's get this back, see if it'll come. There it is. Retail sales, they were up 1.5%, and they were up that way for the week ending May 20th a year ago. So we're holding that number. Now we're going to get very shortly from S&P the U.S. services and manufacturing PMIs. Those could be market movers. New home sales data comes out at 9 o'clock. We get the Richmond Fed updating their information today at 9 o'clock. And API reports come out at 3:30 p.m. So I find it very interesting as to what's going on. A lot of data coming out, a lot of interesting reports. We, as usual, will be covering them for you at Linn as we give you all the types of information we think you need. We take the reports, we'll talk about the option strategies that come from it, the spread strategies in the futures, what we think in the cash markets off of it, how you play the holiday markets as they're quickly approaching you. And we're giving you what we're seeing coming about in the markets from left and right. I think that's the way you want to approach things. We have our own staff writers. If you're a grain trader, we have our own meteorologists, have for as long as I've been with this firm. And by the way, I go back with Linn to my beginning of my career. Does that mean it? Yeah, I've left them over the years, came back to them. They were running everything from ED and F Man, if you remember those names. I can go on and on. Ending up my career with them, and that's where I intend to end up, I hope, as you go, and I'm not retiring anytime soon. So as you take a look, if you want to get this information, go to iraepstein.com under the free offers. You can move your clicker up here. You'll get the free offers. I like to talk to you the way that I am. Let's see what we have at the end of the day. We'll see if there's movement between Biden and McCarthy. But I did not like what I heard yesterday because all I heard is what I'm not going to do, not what I am going to do. You can't compromise by just saying no. I'm Ira. You have a good day.